Good morning. I have class today online. So I decided that today might be the good day to do the tutorial. And my lighting in here sucks. So I have asked Santa Claus for a light ring for Christmas. So we shall see. The very first thing that I do is, I've been talking to y'all about the beauty counter. So that's the very first thing that I put on. My face is clean. I've cleaned it this morning. So I just take one pump. Well, this is a brand new bottle, so it might have to be primed. I'm sorry. There we go. So I take one pump, rub it between my fingers, rub it all over. Until it's nice and rubbed in. Next, I use my Supergoop. This is the everyday lotion with sunscreen. It has 50 SPF. And as y'all can see, I'm like Casper, so I need to make sure that I have sunscreen on. This is something that I did not ever used to do. And I've started looking at my skin a lot more lately and hearing about people my age with skin cancer, and it freaks me out. So I said I better get on the bandwagon. Start putting on some sunscreen every day. So after I do that, I put on a primer. This is one of my favorites. It's Laura Mercier. And this one is a blurring primer. And you don't really need like a ton. That might be a ton. It's thick, so, but I have huge pores. Thank you, Mother. Genetics. But this helps kind of fill in some of those craters in there and kind of tries to give you a little bit more of an airbrush finish. So I like to use that. My undertone, and in here you can see it really well, because the coloring is different with the camera than it is here. And I have a lot of rosacea, so I try to combat that a little bit. One of the things that I like to use is this Laneige Glowy Makeup Serum, and I'll kind of mix it a little bit with whatever foundation I'm going to use for the day. I have several different foundations that I'm using. I go between Lancome, which is this one. I use Beauty Counter Skin Twin. I use sometimes I use the basic like Maybelline. And then I have my Estee Lauder that I use as well. I'm not going to pull it out because it's kind of helping support my camera right now, so it'd fall over. And then I just got some Sephora in a couple of weeks ago. I haven't opened it yet, but it was during the big sale and I still had some extra money that I could use. So I did get one from Kat Von D to try. So we'll see. So I put like 3 drops of the glowy serum on the back of my hand. And then I'll take the Lancome, and this color, if you're pasty like me, this color is called 100 IVON. So I think it's like an ivory 100. You can't really see it very well, but anyway. And then I just put 3 pumps in there of this. And I know 3 pumps sounds like a lot, but for me, it's not. And then I just kind of mix it in. I got this little brush. It's supposed to be like a kabuki type brush from Sephora. I'm trying to get away from using this as much as possible for all of my makeup because I am starting to find that it makes my foundation look really cakey. So I was trying to change it a lot. And I buy a bag of them from Amazon, and they really are just as good as the the Beauty Blender, because I've gotten the Beauty Blender before. And to me, there's so many other products on the market that are so similar that I don't think you need to spend that kind of money on a Beauty Blender. So I get a bag of them for I think it was $6 or $7, and I bought I I think there was a bag of 10 in there. And these are exactly like the real, whatever they're called. So like you can buy them individually at the store, or like a 2-pack for like $7 or $8. And I got this whole bag, I think, for like $7. So, and there's 10 in there. So, totally not worth your money to spend, you know, 10 or 12 or $20 on a beauty blender. So anyway, but I'm trying to use brushes to do my foundation. So I put that on. I have several different concealers. If I have blemish spots, like I have one here, so I'll probably use this Makeup Forever, just in that spot. I put like a little dot there. And then I have 2 different shades of Tarte Shape Tape. And this one's a little bit more muted. This one has a little bit more pink in it. So it just kind of depends. This is 12B and 12S. Today I'm going to use 12S. For this spot thing, I'm going to use the Beauty Blender. It is damp. And I clean it every morning before I use it. So I just kind of... And Makeup Forever, if you're somebody that has a lot of acne, those of you that knew me growing up, I had a ton of acne, and I have a lot of scarring on my face from it. Makeup Forever is a brand that is used in the movies. So it's a really good one to use if you're trying to get really full coverage and you need that extra protection to kind of get rid of some of those heavier areas. It'll cover it really well. They actually have shown in Makeup Forever people who have tattoos on their arms and things like that that can't be shown on camera. They use that camouflage cover up to cover their arm, and it looks like they don't have anything there. So it really is a good product. I know in a lot of tutorials you'll see people just kind of dot their under eye. Let's face it, I have 4 children. There is no dot that's going to cover up these bags I have under my eyes. So yes, I do go pretty heavy on there. But I think just do whatever works for you. You don't have to have a lot. For me, I need it. And also because of the coloring in my skin, I have to have a little bit more to kind of help lift some of this area and blur out some of that redness. So then I just take my Beauty Blender. I will use my Beauty Blender for this. And I just pat it in so that it seeps into those pores. I also use this as the base for my eyeshadow. So I just pat all that in. You do want to be careful how much product you get directly under your eye, because throughout the day it can start to shift and cake, and then that looks really gross. So I just blend that all in there. And as soon as I'm done blending, here we go. I take this is my absolute favorite, Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. It really is my favorite. I've tried a bunch of other ones before and it just doesn't do the same for me. There's some people that you can use whatever and it's fine. But because of the chemical makeup of my skin, a lot of other ones make me look really cakey. So I use this one. You only need a little bit, just kind of pat there, and then I lightly pat. You don't want to press too hard. Just kind of set it really lightly, because eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush some of this off that's still left over. And I'm going to use this as kind of like the drop cloth for when I do my eyeshadow. So right now, because I'm doing school, I'm not going to have a lot of dark colors for my eyes, so it won't be as bad. They don't want you coming looking like you're going to the club for school. So, but hopefully here soon I can do like one that I can do a tutorial for y'all where it'll show kind of what I would do if I was going out or going for like for family photos or something like that, because I like to do a lot of darker colors on my eyes. Okay, so I have that on. Now what I like to do is I actually do my eyes last, which is funny. I didn't used to do that. So I like to go in and kind of get the rest of my face done first. It doesn't take very long, but I start off with the Hoola, and this one's a mini one, and it doesn't even say what the shade is. I know they have a couple different shades, so I don't know which one this is. But anyway, it just okay. And I take this little brush, and I start at the top of my ear because I have high cheekbones. Thank you, Mom. And I just kind of set the line so that I know where to go. And then sometimes I'll use this for my nose. And when I'm doing my nose, you're not going to take this whole thing and go because it'll be too thick. So I just take the corner or the edge of this and just kind of brush, 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 brush. And I know it looks kind of crazy right now, but I'll blend it in later. Okay, all right. So then I take this brush, and one of the bronzers that I love is Old School Wet n Wild. They don't have this one anymore. They switched to a different one, and I don't like it as much. So I'm sad because I'm almost out of this one. And then I go in and I kind of blend it, and make sure that you do it all the way up into your hairline so that it doesn't look, I don't even know the word, but anyway. And then I do up here. I don't know if y'all can see. Sorry, this lighting is awful. And then I come down here. So I see a lot of makeup artists describe it as like a 3. So you go here, and down. I basically just see it as framing my entire face. Because I can't stop eating I don't know about y'all, but I love those Lindor white chocolate peppermint thingies. I am a sucker. So they keep hopping into my mouth, and I don't know how that happens. But I gotta try to lose some weight here. So I'm blending this in here. But this helps me look a little bit slimmer in the face. I hold a lot of weight in my face. So when I lose weight, that's the first place that people notice it, is in my face. I've always been that way. Not everyone's the same way. So you may not need to contour your face. If you already have a really defined facial structure, you may not need to do this. But for me, I do. And then I have this Tarte blush. I love this one. This is my second time purchasing this one. It's getting low already. It's called Party. And then I just kind of right here on the apples of my cheeks, and sometimes I like to bring it up a little bit up here. And that I learned from a beauty queen that I follow on the gram called Logan Lester. I think her Instagram handle is Lolo Lester. She's actually a real estate agent here in Houston and killing it. But she's gorgeous. And I like to follow a lot of her tips and tricks. So anyway. So I just do that. And then this is my favorite. Not everybody needs this, but I am a shimmer or go home kind of girl. So Becca Cosmetics, this is my favorite. Well, this one is Prosecco Pop. I usually get Champagne Pop, but when I went to buy more, they were out. So I have a little bit of Champagne Pop left in there. This one's fine too. And then I dust the bridge of my nose right here. Beep, beep, beep. And then the tip. And then I do the top of wherever I did my blush. Whee! And then I do here, but I go in. So I don't do a straight line. I kind of go in so that it goes like this. And then I like to do a little here. I know that a lot of times it doesn't matter right now because we're all wearing masks, right? But when I'm not wearing a mask, like today, I'll be on camera, so I won't be wearing a mask. I'll do that part, and then I dust the top of my lip. All right. Then I like to use NYX is one of my favorite for brows. I have not gotten into Anastasia. I know that everybody talks about that one. Brows kind of freak me out. I don't want to look. I grew up in the days when like girls in middle school and high school would shave their eyebrows and then draw them on. So that's a horrible like fear of mine. I don't want to look like that. So this color, it doesn't even say what the color is anymore. Does it? Oh yes, blonde. So I just go in and I just kind of fill in the areas because I do have some blonde and those dreadful white hairs in my eyebrows now that I'm getting older. So I just kind of fill some of that in. And then once I've done that, I like to take the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel. And y'all, NYX it used to be an expensive brand, I think, and it is not anymore. It's really inexpensive, and they have really good products. So, and this brow gel is clear, but I just go and I brush it up and kind of over on the sides. But it really helps if you have wild and crazy brows. Helps kind of keep it in place. Boop, boop, boop. Nah, that reminds me of the proposal. Boop, boop, boop. Anyway, okay, so now I'll do my eyes, and I have a whole bunch of eye palettes everywhere, but right now what I've been using is just this one. It's the Tarte Linen Bloom. I probably need another one because this is one of my favorite colors that I use as the base. So that one's called Funny Girl. And if y'all don't know Tarte, their eyeshadows smell amazing. So, but yes, so I'll use Funny Girl first, and I use that as kind of like a foundation, a base over my entire eyelid, and I actually bring it all the way up to my eyebrow. It doesn't have to be super thick. I just like to cover the whole thing because again, this is for school, so I have to look professional. So no funny colors and stuff like that. So I like to just cover that there. And as I mentioned before, I like a lot of sparkle. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll use my highlighter as the base too. It just depends because they both give really good sparkly color on there. Then what I do is I take one of my big fluffy brushes and I come up here. They have, I usually do a mixture. They have Sweetheart, Smarty Pants, and Jet Setter. I think today I'm gonna start with Sweetheart. And you always wanna tap off. This one does have a lot of extra. And then I just kind of go here. I'm not gonna go all the way over. But I just brush it in there. And this one's buildable. So if you don't get the color that you're looking for, you can continue to add. So it's just some subtle color because I'm going to continue to build on these colors a little bit. And you just want to make sure you blend it really well. So then I have another fluffy brush that's just a little bit thinner so that you can get a more defined area. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to come in with Rebel, this one here. And again, tap that off. And then kind of right below where I did earlier, I'm going to just blend that in. And just right below. So it's kind of on top of my eyelid, but pushing into my crease. So that it gives a little bit more definition in there. And then I have this one's kind of like a pencil brush. And what I do for that, I didn't clean that off very well last time I used it. So I keep a little Neutrogena wipe handy because then I kind of get makeup off of my brushes if I need to. I need to do a better job of washing my makeup brushes regularly. I have a lot of them, so it's not something that I look forward to doing. But anyway, so I take this, and then I'm going to use Rebel also, which is what I just used up top. And I'm going to get it right on that tip there. And I'm going to put it down here. So I close my eye because I do have contacts, and it flicks up into my contacts all the time and is very, you know. Okay. So again, not super dark. And then I go in with Leader over here, and I just do a little bit here. And I like to just do it right on the corner and kind of bring it down into here. And then I do that on both sides. So like I said, I'm sorry guys that my lighting is terrible. Hopefully I can get some better lighting for Christmas. Okay. So I don't know if you can see very well, but there it is. Now what I do is I take my big fluffy brush, so like I was telling you before, and I'm gonna kind of brush this away because we still should have that extra powder left on there that we didn't like press in really hard. And so any of that fallout that's on there should just brush right away, okay? Sometimes I will do eyeliner, but again, for school, I usually don't do eyeliner, just because I'm trying to keep it fresh and professional, and you know, and I'm not saying eyeliner's not professional. I wear eyeliner at work all the time, but I think it depends on whatever look you're going for. So a lot of times I'll do spray before I put, because this is really it, and then I'm going to put on my mascara. And I think that you can use anything for a setting spray. You don't have to go and spend $20 on like a special setting spray. I just use the Mario Badescu. This Rosewater one is not my favorite flavor, you're not eating it. But my favorite scent. So I did get some new ones. This stuff is not expensive. I think it's like $5 for this whole thing. But this is great if you need a refresher during the day. They sell them in travel sizes too, so you can keep it in your purse or in your bag or whatever. And you can spray yourself during the day. It's so refreshing. So I just spray this. Let it dry for a minute. When you have something wet like this on your face, you don't want to make a whole lot of faces until it's totally dry, because otherwise that wet is going to cake into those creases. And so wherever you have some of that makeup, if you're frowning or laughing or anything like that, it will end up creasing really bad. So, and then I just put on mascara. Y'all, I do not believe in spending a lot of money on mascara. I've done it before. I've never found one that I liked. This one is my absolute ride or die. I've used it for years and years. Voluminous by L'Oreal. This one's the Carbon Black, and I always get waterproof. So I've thought about going and getting at the Aveda Institute here in Houston. If y'all haven't checked them out, if you live in Houston or wherever you live, check out your Aveda Institute, because they do hair, facials, manicures, pedicures. I think they do massages. They do eyebrows, eyelashes. I mean, everything. And it is so much cheaper because they're students. And the cool thing is that they're not allowed to do anything without their professor signing off on it. So, you know, their professors are people who have been in the industry for a long time. Aveda is very strict. And so, and all of the products that they use are plant-based, which I also like. So, but you can get your stuff done with them very cheap. I think a 60-minute facial is like $30. So this is it here. Maybe I should have done it over here. I have more light bulbs over here. So this is the finished product. And then I have some rogue hairs here that I need to pluck. Yeah, but anyway, so this is it. I'll probably put some lip gloss on and then that'll be about it. I've got to go and kind of recurl my hair and get dressed really fast and hop on for school. So let me know if you have questions. You want to see something different. Like I said, I'm going to try to get a tutorial up for darker eye makeup because I know that that's something that I've posted in the past. And I get a lot of comments on that. So, and eyes are super special right now because that's really all we see, right? So anyway, I hope you'll have a wonderful Friday and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.